You know that it's fun to go out, except I never leave my house. I'm either at work or home, and it seems kind of pathetic just drinking alone. So if you got nothing going on, have some drinks with Ron.
Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and this is my straight drink. A little of my winner of the low to mid-range bourbon contest, Benchmark. And it is hot as hell. I'm gonna go get in the pool, and before I do, I thought I should get a little bit drunk. So while I wait for the ice to do its thing, just thought I'd tell a few random stories from back in the day, maybe teach you a lesson or two. And the lesson for today is that police are people too. Oh sure, they've got the whole uniform with the gun and the badge and everything that's supposed to strike fear into you and make you think that they're superhuman, but they're just people. I'll give you a few examples. If you play your cards right with certain police, you can skate on minor infractions. Back in the day, I were out at Klondike, me and a bunch of my friends, and 3 or 4 of us were supposed to be camping at the land across the way. Well, anyway, long story short, there's about 15 of us, and the police show up to escort us out. So we're all parked in, and then one by one, basically they let us go through and checked us out. Well, I was at the end because I was one of the first ones there, so I come through and get the flashlight in the face. Had anything to drink? No. Can't smell my red dog on my breath. Anything in the car I need to know about? Got an inflatable cow in the back. So he flips the flashlight back. Sure enough, there's an inflatable cow. He starts laughing and, get out of here, you crazy kid. So it worked pretty well. And then there was another time. I was actually up in Ladysmith for a buddy of mine's wedding, and it was right after a massive tornado had wiped out like most of the town. So we're coming back from the bars, and we're just smoked. It's about 1 in the morning, and we're kicking stuff over, breaking stuff, because, like I said, it's a fucking disaster site. The whole town's down, you know, so what difference does it make? We're gonna break a stick. There used to be a house here that's not here. So, we're hooting and hollering, and pretty soon, unbeknownst to me, we got near the police department, and come on over here, fellas. So, you know, here it goes. One of the guys with us apparently was well known locally. The police knew him by name, so that's never a good way to start. And then, you know, give him the ID, and this is back in the day when I had the crazy Sideshow Bob hair, Ronald McDonald meets Slipknot, I think it's been called. Anyway, I looked like a person of interest, so give him my ID, and I'm from La Crosse. So, La Crosse, what are you doing up here? Oh, buddy's wedding. Oh, Mr. Tracy, you wanted by anybody? Just the ladies. And with that, here's your ID, and you guys get home, stay out of trouble. And perhaps my favorite police story of all time is not mine, and I'm not going to use any of the names in said story, but 3 or 4 guys out road tripping. It's probably the mid to late 80s. That'll give you a little bit of a time frame. The laws weren't quite so strict. But they're out, big cooler in the back, drinking, you know, throwing the cans out. Well, they get pulled over and administering the whole series of tests to the driver. Well, you know, he's doing all the tests, and he's like, well, I need you to say your ABCs. So, you know, 4 completely smoked drunk kids in the car, and guy goes through and gets to W, X, Y, and Z, and continues with, and now I know my ABCs, and the cop just starts laughing his ass off, because, I mean, they're clearly drunk. So he says, well, boys, I tell you what, I'm going to open that cooler, and if there's nothing offensive in there, you can go. Went into the back seat, opened the cooler. The last of the beers had been thrown out the window a few minutes before. Free to go, free and clear. Alright, you guys have fun, stay out of trouble. Don't let me see you around here again. Um, and then I had another one. I was in high school. I was going to pick up my sister for Easter, so I'm rocking my 3.5-inch front stereo speakers in my car on the tape deck with no rewind, kicking it old school, 7 watts of power, rocking it. So I'm going about, 75, 80. Get pulled over. State trooper comes up. Any idea how fast you were going? Nope. He tells me about 80. I didn't think my car could go that fast. Badoom ching. No laugh. He continues writing the ticket. So the lesson of today's story is police are people too, except for state troopers who are some sort of hybrid robot. Fear them. Fear them.